scarcity of housing, coupled with the fact that home ownership has become fashionable, has seen a few dishonest people seek to take advantage of Kenyans. Our question today is, what should Kenyans do differently? To take us through this sensitive subject, we speak to Esther, a seasoned lawyer, on what we need to look out for before committing to purchase property. Karibu sana on the show.
Thank you, Nancy.
As a Kenyan seeking to buy property, what should I know before I pay for it?
Okay. The first thing you need to know or even do is to see the property. If someone tells you they have a house, but for example, that they're selling, that they'd like to sell to you, you should first ask them to take you to the house so that you see the house. If it's a piece of land, you also need to see the piece of land. Post seeing the piece of land or the house and having confirmed that indeed you like it, the second thing you need to do is ask who the owner is, and if possible, meet the owner of the property. Now, thirdly, you need to conduct what we call due diligence on the property. Now, what is due diligence? Due diligence comprises of various parts. The first one is a title search. The title search is done at the Ministry of Lands, which is a custodian of all land records in Kenya. So when you do a title search, it tells you who the registered owner is, whether the property is free of any encumbrances, whether the property is fit for purpose. What this means is that if it's a house, then the permitted use should be a residential use. If you're buying an office, then the permitted use should be commercial use. If you're buying a hotel, then the permitted use should be a hotel. So you check to see that it is fit for purpose. Now, beyond the title search, you then do what we call a correspondence search. Now, a correspondence search is one that traces the root of ownership of that property. And why this is important is that if for any reason that land was at some point, say, public land, a correspondence search or the historical search will tell you all of that, in which case then you avoid purchasing such a property. But where you find that a property was properly allocated to a private person and the ownership has passed from one person to the next, then that's a good property to buy. Now, beyond the historical search, the next thing you do is to conduct what we call survey due diligence. Now, what survey due diligence does is that it makes a connection between the property number and the survey records, and the survey records then point to the location of the property. Yeah, because I could come to you and you tell me you're selling property A, and property A is land reference number 1, but when I go to survey records, the number and the property on the ground do not correspond. So the survey due diligence enables you to determine whether indeed that property number you've been given corresponds with the property on the ground. Now, once you're done with the survey due diligence, then you need to do a due diligence on the seller. Yes. Now, where the seller is a company, you then go to the company's registry and seek to find out, okay, so who's this company, who are the shareholders, who are the directors? And if indeed you find that the directors are some of the people you're dealing with in the conversation of the sale, then you're on the right track. If it's a human person, get a copy of their ID, go to the registry of persons and conduct a search just to confirm that the copy of the ID you have corresponds with what you have at the company's registry. Now, with all of that work, you will indeed be in a good place to proceed.
In the recent past, Kenyans have been conned buying property without proper documentation. What should they have done differently?
I think really it's to engage professionals, because if the person who's selling the property to you, for example, is an estate agent, are they people of repute here? Are they people who have been in the business and who've been known to conduct truthful business? Then secondly, you would need to engage a lawyer. Yeah, the lawyer is the person who's best placed to conduct the due diligence for you, starting from the title search, the historical search, and even the search on the seller. The other thing you perhaps ought to do, so that then you determine whether indeed the property you're buying is value for the money that you're going to pay, is a valuation of the property. Yeah, so look for a valuer who will then go to the property and look at it, whether it is land or building. They will look at it and then determine whether the price at which the property is offered to you is indeed a good price. Now, when you have 3 sets of professionals looking at this property before you touch it, then if there's something wrong, at least one of them will spot it.